So it's Pride Month, a month for companies to parade themselves around like they care about queer people. And then on July 1st, they go back to being homophobic and transphobic. I was gonna drop a video essay on BoJack Horseman, but that video is still in the works. So to celebrate Pride Month, I made a list of my favorite LGBTQ+ movies and shows for you to check out and watch. Okay, so I'm gonna start the list off strong with The Handmaiden, directed by Park Chan-wook. The Handmaiden is such a fucking good movie, dude. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's about a wealthy heiress in the 1930s whose life is controlled by her uncle. Her life then changes when she gets a new handmaiden. The twist is the handmaiden is actually a trained pickpocket whose goal is to trick the heiress to marry a man whose plan is to rob her and take her future away. But this all changes when they develop feelings for each other. The editing in this movie is just wonderful, and it's paced perfectly. I have no complaints. Best movie of 2016 by far. I just made a video on Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I'm still adding it to the list. If you haven't watched my video on why I love this movie as much as I do, definitely watch it. One of the main characters is a lesbian, and it's got some pretty great representation. Also, the costume design in this movie is just wonderful. No matter who you are, I have a feeling there's something in Everything Everywhere that you will like. Semantic Error is a BLK drama about two guys, an artist and a comp-sci student. There's the enemies to lovers trope done really well. It's a fun watch, and you can definitely get through it in a few hours. Portrait of a Lady on Fire is my favorite movie of the past 5 years. I love this movie so freaking much, dude. So much. It's one of the easiest recommendations I can genuinely give. It's so good. So the plot is about a painter who's a woman painting a portrait of a young woman who's about to be married off in an arranged marriage she doesn't want to be in. I cried at the end of this movie multiple times just even thinking about it. It's so beautiful. 10 out of 10, just watch it. Banana Fish is a BL with such an amazing soundtrack. Actually, all the music in this video is from Banana Fish. The show is a cross between a shonen and a shoujo. Ash is a 17-year-old mob boss who is groomed and put as a sex worker from a young age by Papa Dino. Ash is also super smart and also bisexual. Eiji is a Japanese guy visiting America to take pictures of Ash for the newspaper he works for. Eiji is immediately intrigued by Ash. To know the rest, watch Banana Fish, you won't be disappointed. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is definitely a queer show. It's a show about the Joestar family bloodline, with each part in the series having a new Joestar protagonist. The outfits in this series are just wonderful. This is also potentially the only anime I've ever seen that equally sexualizes men and women. It also has men doing traditionally feminine things, which isn't that common to see. This is also my favorite anime, so please check it out. It's really fun. Part 6 is airing on Netflix right now, so check it out. But I'm a Cheerleader is a great comedy about a cheerleader who gets sent to conversion therapy, and the whole place is just super gay. And while that's happening, she also has to come to terms with the fact that she's gay. Also, if you're watching this one, watch the director's cut. It's much better than the original release. When Jennifer's Body came out, it had bad ratings. However, that was only because of the audience it was marketed to. It was marketed to an audience of straight men. Luckily, the film found its popularity and audience in the 2010s. It has a queer-coded friendship, and the movie fights against toxic heterosexuality. If that wasn't enough to convince you to watch it, it has the same writer as Juno, and I'm recommending it, so definitely check it out. Titane was my pick for best movie of 2021. It's a French horror movie about a woman who's attracted to cars. For real though, the movie is horrifying and it has strong messages about gender fluidity and love. I cannot get enough of this fucking movie. I love it so much. It's gorgeous, it's funny, it's fucking terrifying. Watch it, I loved it. Don't eat while watching it. Kajillionaire is a queer romance story about a kid who is raised to be a con artist by her con artist parents. Her family dynamics start changing when they invite a stranger to join them for a heist. It's a fun watch and perfect for Pride Month. Raw is what happens when a vegetarian tries meat for the first time. Although the main character of Raw isn't queer, her roommate Adrian is. Along with having some great queer themes, this is a great horror movie that I definitely recommend. Fantastic Mr. Fox, although not having any explicitly gay characters, the movie does have very relevant LGBTQ+ themes shown through Ash Fox. I don't want to say any more just because of how good this movie is, so just do me a favor and watch it. Flea is a Danish movie about a gay Afghanistan refugee and the journey he had to take to get from Afghanistan to Denmark. All this while hiding his identity that he's gay for over 20 years. Tokyo Godfathers is an animated movie directed by Satoshi Kon. It's a Christmas movie with one of the 3 main characters being trans. It's a fun movie and I'm more than happy to recommend any movie by Satoshi Kon. Climax is yet another French horror movie, but this is also a dancing movie. With a good amount of LGBTQ+ characters and representation, this is a good watch. The plot is pretty much a bunch of dancers coming together, but someone spiked the drinks and the night becomes horrifying from there. Best in Show is a hilarious movie with queer characters, and I just want to add it to this list because of how funny this movie is. Sometimes you just need to have a laugh and a good time, and that's exactly what this movie is. It knows what it is, it knows what it wants to be, and it obtains that with no problem at all. The plot of the movie is a bunch of people enter their dogs in a dog show to win the blue Best in Show ribbon. BoJack Horseman has some of the best ace representation through Todd. It also has amazing real-world critiques and phenomenal character development. I'm not going to talk too much about it since I'm already making a full video about BoJack, but yeah, if there's anything you should watch, it's BoJack. The character Fleabag in Fleabag is bisexual. Other than that, the show isn't that queer, but it's such a good show, I want to add it to the list anyways. Anyway, that's all the movies and shows I have to recommend this month. Please like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want. Bye.